My name
Okay.
is Margaret Barnes, and I am a member of the League of Women Voters of the Jackson area. The League is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, and the League provides voter education to help voters to make informed choices. However, the League never supports nor opposes a particular candidate or political party. So Hinds County voters have a chance to vote in a special election on Tuesday, November the 2nd, 2021. And we, as a league, urge all voters to go to the polls because we all know that the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to elect a new sheriff, a county judge, and a District 5 constable. Now, today, we have a candidate for sheriff to interview, Mr. Richard Spooner. We are so happy to have you with us here today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here also.
Now, Mr. Spooner, in order to prepare you for our interview, I will give you a question and you will have a minute and a half to answer, to respond to that question. And there will be 5 questions.
Okay.
Good deal. So are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. The first question is, what is your experience in education that prepares you to be Hinds County Sheriff?
Well, my education, I'm a graduate of Wingfield High School right here in South Jackson, where I still reside. When I graduated high school, I joined the United States Marine Corps. I spent 4 years and I was honorably discharged in 1993. My experience started as soon as I got out of the Marine Corps. I was hired by Sheriff Malcolm E. McMillan. I started working at the Raymond Detention Center in the jail. I went to the patrol division, narcotics, eventually worked my way up to be the commander of the narcotics division, commander of the warrants division. All the time I was a member of the Hinds County Sheriff's SWAT team for 19 years. My experience in law enforcement is all been at the Hinds County Sheriff's Office. I've been from the bottom to the top. I know it backwards and forwards. Now, you're going to hear a lot of talk about the jail problems that they have. I have a lot of experience in the jail. I've been there, done that.
Good deal. Now, that is a perfect segue into the next question. The Hinds County Detention Center is under a U.S. Department of Justice consent decree demanding improvements at the detention center. How will you address the consent decree?
The first thing I would do is take a proper assessment when you get in office, because a lot of candidates will tell you what they're going to do, but you really don't know until you know what you've got to work with. You've got to look at equipment, training, personnel. And what I would do first of all is have a meeting with the Department of Justice monitors. They have come in and already documented all of the problems that they have at the detention center. That's where you need to start. I've been to several hearings down on the coast when they present them to the judge that's over the consent decree, and none of these problems are being solved. You know, and they're documented right there in front of you to start working on. That's where I would begin, right there with the Department of Justice.
The third question, how do you plan on recruiting, training, and retaining more officers?
Recruiting is very crucial. One of my plans is to have an aggressive recruiting program because, let's face it, we're losing officers, right? And it's a nationwide shortage. Everywhere you go, law enforcement are short of officers. What this is going to have to take is a strong bond with the Hinds County Board of Supervisors, because you've got to make salaries comparable to the surrounding agencies to retain these guys and women, men and women, because, you know, they come to Hinds County, they work Jackson, they get trained very well, and then they go to other agencies that offer more money. We've got to find a way to find the money to retain these folks and keep them right here where we need them.
Okay. What are your strategies for crime prevention to make Hinds County safer?
One of my strategies is, you know, I was posed this question a while back. They said, what new and innovative ways would I have to fight crime? Well, my new and an innovative way would be go back to the basics, because it's always been a solution: more officers, less crime. Officer presence is huge. This kind of goes back to what you were asking about the other one. How can we get these officers? One thing I would like to do is reinstate and reinforce the Hinds County Reserve Officer Program. You've got men and women in our communities that have just as much training and experience as full-time officers. And guess what? They work for free. They do it because they want to, not because they have to. And there are a lot of them that could supplement our officers in day-to-day operations. And that would help curb crime, more officers on the street.
Thank you. Thank you. And your last question is, law enforcement in Hinds County consists of the sheriff's office plus police departments of 6 municipalities. How do you see all these agencies working together to be more effective?
You've got to bring them under one umbrella. Okay. Jackson, Clinton, and Byram have plenty of officers. Okay. When you get to these smaller towns out in the county, take for instance, right now, Utica, Edwards, Bolton, and Raymond have all come together and formed their own little group to back each other up with no help from the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office is the one agency that can bring all these folks together. You know, I would like to deputize a lot of officers out in the county because criminals don't follow jurisdictional lines. Why should we? You know, if you've got an officer out there that knows there's a crime being committed right down the road, but he doesn't have the authority, we need to change that. Okay. The sheriff's office can bring everybody under one roof and start working together, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take teamwork from all the agencies, from the municipalities that you talk to, and also the community. We got to rebuild trust with the community.
Mr. Spooner, thank you for participating.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would like to remind the Hinds County voters of this important election on Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time out to do this, Mr. Spooner.
It is my pleasure. Look, we've got a short amount of time ever since, you know, the tragic, you know, passing of Sheriff Vance that caused this special election. I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity, because we're all in turbo mode trying to, you try to reach everybody in Hinds County in 2.5 months, and it's very difficult. So this is an excellent opportunity, and I thank you for giving me the chance.
You're very welcome.